Bust it.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to Political Platform. My name is Amecha, and we're beautiful Monday in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. The president, we're expecting back any moment from now. We heard he watched the football match between the local Super Eagles and, of course, the Angolan counterparts. After we won after extra time, he congratulated the team. But what happened at the floor of the African Union meeting in Ethiopia over last weekend is one that has continued to indeed dominate discussions and pages of the newspapers. A warm embrace between former President Olusegun Obasanjo and incumbent President Muhammadu Buhari appears to have stole the show. Of course, accompanied by former military head of state Abdulsalami Abubakar, President Obasanjo, who is ever present in international meetings as usual, was in Addis Ababa for the summit of authority of the heads of state of the African Union. He had some pleasantries, exchanging pleasantries with some other African heads of state, and he did not leave out his president, Muhammadu Buhari. Of course, it was one that left cameras clicking away to, of course, capture the scene, coming shortly after the former president had written a public statement advising Muhammadu Buhari to indeed forget elections, re-elections in 2019. Just as daughter to Olusegun Obasanjo, Iyabo, has issued a statement asking those that want to pitch her against her father to desist from doing so. She alleged that a letter she wrote way back in 2013 or 2014 has found its way to the social media. Again, she's claiming that her enemies are portraying it to seem as if it was a response to the latest advice her father gave to the president not to seek re-election. Just as the third force movement that the former president proposed appeared to be setting up very strong structures across the country, there were rumors that the main financier of the group is the chief executive of ITO Group, an oil company, but the man, Benedict Peters, came out very quickly to deny that, saying he has no link with the Coalition for Nigeria, the third force that the former president proposed. And if we have time, we shall be taking you to Kanu to share some possible ugly development that may take place tomorrow in that Asian city. Former Governor Rabi Musa Kwankwaso and the incumbent Governor Omar Ganduje are appearing bent on continuing with their plans to hold different rallies in the city same day. The police commissioner in Kano State has advised Kwankwaso and the Kwankwasia group to shelve their own rally, but they said they were the first to fix a date and they must continue. If left unchecked, it will indeed come up with very ugly consequences. Ijomo Samo is with me in the studio this morning.
Thank you, Amechi. I think the video of the President Muhammadu Buhari and the former President Olusegun Obasanjo, it's something that I must commend because I want to advise Nigerians that you don't just pitch tents with worrying politicians, because they may just be doing that in front of us, and behind us they are still very close friends. People who are throwing tantrums, people who are criticizing any of them should watch it. And I like what happened, because it's sending a message to everyone that aside politics, we are still together.
Okay, we shall of course be joining us to Kechukwe stalwart of the APC via telephone. We want to harvest his opinion on the report submitted by a committee his party, the APC, set up to advise it on restructuring the El-Rufai-led committee against the backdrop of some questions Nigerians have raised, even some of them in our mails, questioning the genuinity of the APC to truly ensure that Nigeria is really restructured. We'll get to that, but first, as usual, we'll get your own opinion into this program. We'll always advise you to write to us through our email platform, politicalplatform@yahoo.com, sending your suggestion, your comments, and your opinion on topical national issues.
Hello and welcome to the mail segment. I am Ait Yari.
And I'm Amaka Okoro. Welcome.
Yes, we begin with Oko Chukwuka in Enugu State writing on the anti-corruption champion and the fight against the scourge in Nigeria. The mail reads, at the ongoing 30th ordinary session of the Assembly of Heads of States and Governments of the African Union, President Muhammadu Buhari was named the African Union's anti-corruption champion, taking cognizance of his administration's stance in the fight against corruption. This is a welcome development and worthy of emulation by other African leaders. However, I am not fully satisfied with the level of performance of the present administration in terms of the fight against corruption, involving those in the corridors of power. The recent arrest by the EFCC of the former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babachi Lawal, after more than 1 year, he was indicted in the grass-cutting scandal in the internally displaced people's camp, shows a lackluster attitude of the administration in the fight against corruption. Baru Kachiku NNPC's contract saga has been swept under the carpet. Those who reinstated and promoted MENA are still deciding the destiny of Nigeria. These and many other cases of corruption involving those in power, which President Muhammadu Buhari has not taken decisive action on, portrays us as a country paying lip service to the fight against corruption. In order to maintain the status of an anti-corruption champion bequeathed on him by the AU, President Buhari should not forget that charity begins at home. God bless Nigeria.
And Dixon Eka in Abuja is reacting to the explanation given by the special advisor to the president on the newly appointed Director General of the National Intelligence Agency. The mail reads, the explanation given by the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina, on the rumors going around that the newly appointed Director General of the National Intelligence Agency is not qualified to be the DG of NIA, has further explained the act of nepotism that is ongoing in the Buhari's administration. First, Femi succeeded in clearing the air that he actually retired as a deputy director, but not a director. Second, he succeeded in telling us that Mr. Abubakar actually has a dual citizenship, having been born and raised in Chad, finishing his primary school before coming back to Nigeria. Third, he officially informed us that Mr. Abubakar is from Katsina State, just like his colleague in the DSS, which is against the principle of federal character. Fourth, Femi couldn't defend the fact that the new DG failed promotion exams severally, and I ask, is it right to make a retired deputy director a DG where there are directors? Can we entrust such a very important and sensitive position on a dual citizenship personality? Why pick the DG from the Northwest while the suspended DG, who didn't finish his tenure, is from the Southwest? President Buhari should check his Nepotism Act, as it's becoming clear that merit is being exchanged for relationship, and that's the highest level of corruption. May God help us.
In preparation for the 2019 elections, Adolphus Callistus in Abuja says, please, platform crew, you must add your voice continually to mandate the federal government and INEC to mobilize and make sure that all Nigerians of voting age are registered. A situation where different organizations have undertaken the duty to mobilize people to go get their PVCs and INEC is not up and doing to give it to them is unacceptable. We need a strong INEC, far more than EFCC or any other agency, because that's where our power lies in a democracy. God bless Nigeria.
And this is how far we can go on today's mail segment. Keep sending your contributions to us. Send them through to us to politicalplatform@yahoo.com.
Thank you so much for the mails. We do enjoy them. Please continue to write. Join issues with us. It is a process of nation building. It is our collective responsibility to find solutions to the myriads of problems facing the Nigerian nation. So don't sit back. Who knows, your suggestion, your comment, of course, your opinion may be the magic one that may really get us going. Of course, I told you earlier, the meeting, chance meeting between a former president and an incumbent president of Nigeria in Ethiopia during the African Union Summit is one that I've seen discussions everywhere. So many Nigerians were wondering, how can someone who has written a letter advising another not to contest be seen to be openly, fraternizing with him?